Do you know what this is? This is the JOBO 2509 film development reel for 6 sheets of 4x5 film. Or as I like to refer to it, my nemesis for years trying to use this thing was just like, oh, I'd get so angry because it would just, I could never get the sheets on it and they'd fall off, and it was just panic inducing. It would take way too long than I thought it should to get film onto this reel. But I've done it. I've cracked the code. I've figured out how to load this quickly and painlessly. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, why don't you just see what the manual says and follow that? Well, you know what the manual says about this reel? It just says, slide a sheet of film into it, and then it shows a picture of the reel being attached to the separate film loader for it that itself costs $160. Like the whole time I'm like, I can't figure out why I can't get the film on here. It's gotta be because it's so stupidly complex that it requires a $160 accessory to put film onto the reel. But no, I've cracked the code. And I'm gonna show you how you could crack the code as well in your own darkroom. You ready? Are you ready for the secret? Here we go. Welcome to the lower non-faced view that we'll be using for the rest of this tutorial. So here's your JOBO 2509. And you'll see on it that there are 3 separate notches on each side of it. When I'm loading this by hand without the $160 loader, I like to put the notches on the table in front, the opposite side of me, so my hands can curl around and work the notches on the opposite side. So when I'm in the dark, the first thing I do is I take 2 fingers, whichever 2 fingers fit nicely on the 2 sides of the reel. These 2 work for me, but your hands might be different and you might have a different number of fingers, so just find whatever 2 fingers is most comfortable right here, and then I slide until I find the most inner ring, which will be the furthest one away. So I go 1, 2, 3. I'm now on the most inner track of the film reel. So with the 2 fingers on the tracks, I take my sheet of film. You want to load it so that the emulsion curls towards the core of the reel. I take one corner of the film till I find it under my finger, and then rotate it till I find the other corner. Make sure that I can feel the film. I've had plenty of loads where I've accidentally bump into it and then would slide into the wrong track. So I make sure I get it pinched between the 2 fingers and just work it in a little bit until it starts. And then with the other hand, I just kind of hold it in place. And now with the right hand, if you're a left-handed person, just mirror this video and follow the instructions. Grab the sheet of film by the leading edge and just gently pull and wiggle it back and forth a little bit. And boom! There it is. It was so easy. So if you're questioning why I wiggle the film, I think it's a real key important step of this process. So if you have it in there normally and you attempt to push the film, it often, if you don't have the film absolutely level, it'll go off kilter, and as we can see up here, it'll pop out and bump into the ribs of the ring, which jams it up, and if you try to force it, it pops out. And I think that's why I had so many problems, because I think the loader tends to hold it absolutely level so you don't run into stuff. But the magic of just grabbing it by the front and slightly wiggling it back and forth as you pull it through prevents it from getting hung up, and boom, your film is loaded. So now that you have 1 sheet of film on your holder, it's time to do another. And I know, on the forums, people are always like, just only load 4 sheets out of this because 6 is gonna be impossible. It's not. With this method, 6 is very possible. So here's what we do. Once again, fingers on the outside reel, walk it, you find the first set of notches, walk it again and find the second set of notches. Take your sheet of film, emulsion towards you, hook it under one finger and hook it under the other. Now here's a catch. Sometimes the bottom sheet of film will be curved. It'll just be curved just enough that when you try to slide this one in, they'll bump into each other. So if that happens, you can just use your middle finger and just hook it down a little bit while you get it started. So once again, you have the next sheet in place. Just hold it in place with your left hand and grab the front edge and just slowly wiggle slide it, keeping these fingers here to make sure it's not popping out of the tracks until we click into place. There we go. 2 sheets of film loaded and ready for development. But oh my god, you could fit 1 more on this because it holds 6. That's 3 on each side. You ready? So once again, fingers walk your fingers till you get to the first notch this time. Clip film under finger 1, feel it under finger 2, push down the underlying sheet if it's in the way, get it started gently, and then just walk it home. Just walk it home. Look at that. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Both sides is clear and ready to develop. And that's it. Then you just rotate it to their side and do the exact same process with the other 3 slots. I've fully loaded this thing in under 5 minutes without driving myself crazy, and it was amazing! And so can you, now that you've seen the magic technique. And I'm sure there's people out there who figured this out, and they'll probably find this video and be like, duh! Well, yes, duh! It's that easy, duh! I feel stupid that it took me so long to figure it out and not make loading these things a nightmare. So now if you watch this video and you have the loader, quickly go sell your loader before people see this video and know that they don't need it to load their JOBO 2509 easily by hand. Oh, it's fine. Bye.